or ground bait for that matter. But it's a you know, that can change just based on like, all right, once we hit Old Berg, are we engaging bream a lot? If that's the case, it's usually worth leveling up your ground bait and your baits. Oh man, we got to be getting close on that, right? Y'all see how peas is just kind of working for Roach? I mean, it's slow at times, but it's just consistent, nice size Roach. It's a good way to target a cafe order, just to be efficient with it. All right, we are literally just one off another 31 silver from the Roach. It's pretty sick. It's pretty great. I feel like, yeah, we're at 20%. I was going to say, I feel like we're not that far off from starting to unlock stuff. There's another one. All right. So that's it. That is it on those Roach. Well, since it's getting to be bream time, I know we've been at Mosquito for a while, and we'll go dip over to Winding soon, but let's just go test that bream spot just for fun. $31 more silver. We're doing so good right now on all the cafe orders and such. I kind of feel, I mean, I kind of think that like if you had to choose one, wouldn't you say Crucian Gibble is closer to something that bream might want instead of Roach mix? Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do some early fake bream mix here. Can we flip this over the boat? Yeah. Maggots were a lot slower, really. Unfortunately. Peas actually did better than maggots, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So we are now headed over to 7990, clip 15. We're going to be casting almost straight down south. Let's go get set up for this. Let's just see if we can tap into any bream. We'll try. Oh, you know what? Before we get over there, let's get one more good hook. I'm going to go with another. Maybe for this, we actually hit an 8. So we'll have 8, 10, and then something small for these cheap ones. And when do we stop buying the cheap ones? I mean, these are not that much more expensive, although a lot of the sizes we want might be sold out. And we just get this 8. This is so much nicer. 3.5 star. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. At some point, you got to turn the corner and stop buying junk. Especially when you start getting bigger fish and such, you'll just lose a lot less fish if you don't have total junk hooks on. I wish we had a leader for our new feeder setup, but I don't think I'm willing to give up that much power, and I don't know that it matters in the muddy waters of Mosquito, to be honest, that much. All right, so we're going somewhere like this, and we are casting something like this. We're wanting to be at 15 meters. All right, so let's make this fake ground bait here. All right, bream wannabe. All right, So we've got crackers, we've got millet porridge, and maggots. Because basically those additives, that is bream ground bait, right? We just don't have the base or the attractant unlocked yet. And I will definitely go sunflower over caramel for bream, I think. Yeah, that makes sense, Wrangler. Wrangler just said I buy better hooks at Old Berg. And I get that. I get that. Alright, so we're going to put our biggest hook on this one, and we're going to put red worms. We're going to do red worms, and we're going to do worms side by side. See if we can just hit a random bream. Alright, so we're trying to cast basically just right into this little spot in front of us. 15-meter clip. I don't know how... Yeah, 90% is about right on these. Alright, and we're going to do it with this one too. Put a bigger hook, size 10. We're going to go with worm on this one. Bream wannabe. Again, 15-meter clip. This has a lighter cage on it, so we're probably going to want to max cast this. And then on this one, we'll keep the same ground bait on. Bream wannabe. But we're going to go down to size 20 hook with worm. Because I also want to know, are there white bream here? Are there rough here? So let's see. Did I set the clip? Yeah, it looks like I did. Alright, so let's see what else is here on the small hook. Alright, this will be a good experiment before we bounce over to winding, just to see what we can get into here. I love this Kama Comfort Lacerti combo. 149 silver, totally worth it though. We eventually also want to upgrade that reel. And we can fully engage bream and be fairly comfortable doing so. I would also go sunflower over caramel, since the latter would lean much to the regular roach mix and probably get you a lot of unwanted roach. I agree, Thizmac. That's exactly what I was thinking. I came here looking for eyed and I'm catching bream. Oh, here we go. First fish on red worm. We need to have our friction brake a little lower. You never know what we're going to catch here. That does not appear to be a bream. That's a chub. That is a surprise chub. That's the first chub we've caught on feeder on this account. Alright, small hook. So let's see what we're getting on a small hook here. It's still a little early. I mean, it's not really bream time, so I think this spot may change right before our very eyes. So there you go. We did catch a bream here, and that's on a really small hook, so it's kind of weird, but they do appear to still be here, at least to some degree. There's two more red worm, big time in it. That's huge. That is huge. Yeah, I'm just really curious, like, what all is going to come out of this little spot. There's a good philosophy. You generally get what you pay for. Yeah, especially with hooks, right? Especially with hooks. Yeah, so right now we're sitting here with, you know, a couple of these, the green Simmons Happy hooks, which I think are 3.5 star. And then we did purchase the one more expensive one that these might be 4 stars or even 4.5. But these are a little pricey for this low a level, but it was the only one we could get the 24 size hook in. But I mean, there does come a time, and it sneaks up on you, where you really don't want to have, I mean, I would say it's not unreasonable to get to a point pretty quick where all your hooks should be this or better. Whatever this is, 4 star, 4.5 star, or better, you know? Not now, not while we're still at Mosquito, maybe not even while you're at Old Berg and Belaya, but it's worth it at some point. I did not check that, Thigh Smack. Is that a thing? Does anybody know if that's a thing? That would be great to add to our bream wannabe ground bait. So look at all these bream we're catching. What this tells me, first of all, it's still a little early, so they could get bigger. But what it also tells me is that if we were using the right bait, we could, this potentially could be a pretty good little bream spot, especially for Mosquito. And I bet we'll have at least one or two, you know, up over a kilo, even with not the quote-unquote right bait. Which the post I saw about this spot was with pea porridge. That might be just a marker. Yes. So that's our second marker bream, because remember we did have that 1 point something kilo yesterday. Since you can use the oat and so on, I figure you could probably use that too. Yeah, if that, I'll test that when we get back to town. And if that's the case, that's what we'll do in our next one, because I love that idea. Those smaller width hooks, the happy hooks, are great for whitefish and bream. I agree. I think it's perfect. Try float fishing for the bream here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Whoa. We're on the bream. So they're here. I mean, you know, once we unlock pearl barley and a little bit bigger hooks, 2 or 3 of our starter feeder sets, like we only have 1 of right now. Maybe some fluorocarbon leaders for them as well. Like, might be worth coming back here and really testing this spot out. So we're at 15 meter clip, just kind of casting just west of south. So far, so good. We're right in the corner of G3. I mean, once it became bream time, that's pretty much all we're catching. Although I will say, you know, just the way we're going after them here, next fish, I might go ahead and take these red worms off, because we're catching all, not all, but almost all undersized. I mean, really all of them are undersized. Even the markers are small with these baits, so I'm not sure this is worthy of our red worms. I think the worms will, you know, work just as good right now. Question is, will we get one like really nice one? Grats on level 10, Lurch Dave 074. The red worms might be a better bite rate, though. But I'm going to switch to worms for now. Ooh, 8.8 Cory. That's nice. Nice. That is a small bream. 151 gram. Alright, so this was a good experiment. I don't know that with our current bait availability that this is the play, though. So far, we have not caught anything that is non-bream ever since it became bream time. It's just been one small bream after another. Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like a good silver day. Yeah, we should get some more bread. Go ahead and make some more bread while our bait harvesting percentage is still low. This is pretty slow with worms, isn't it? Although it's that time of night. The question is, like, once it gets to 5, 6 a.m., will we get a couple nice, like, 1 kilos? This is not worth the time, though, until we can get dialed in, get a better percentage of markers. And really, they need to be over 1 kilo. Those, like, baby marker bream just aren't worth very much silver. That's cool, Wrangler. All right, let's get the bread. Let's also check that that pearl barley idea. I hear our bells. All right, we'll make a bunch of bread. And where's the pearl barley? Here it is. All right, let's just check that right now. Okay, we cannot add it. So good idea, but we can't add it. So I'm not sure what makes some grocery items can be used as additives and some cannot. It's kind of weird. Oh, he will be proud, that's for sure. He's probably proud that you're doing it at all. There we go. There we go. 1.2. I like it. How did you snap 3 at Old Berg? Like, were they getting tangled or what? So we do have some new players for sure. I mean, I've seen other ones too, but this person was just saying they downloaded the game yesterday. Snag, say snap plus telly isn't good. Then a carp took a red worm. Gotcha. You broke 3 rods at Corey. The one rod with the sandwich bait hasn't had a hit yet. They mainly want pea porridge. So Ghost saw our stream yesterday and came to this chat. That's awesome. Alright, that's at least a marker. I mean, at this point, I feel like we're committed. We at least got to stay here and see what comes in between, like, you know, 5 and 8 a.m., right? 5 and 7, 5 and 8, something like that. So I wonder if any of the, so none of the big ones have been recent, huh? That Mosquito. Man, those Volkov bream are so big sometimes. Oh yeah, match rod record tab would be cool. Alright, so that's our first rough. I think in general we can say this spot's not as good as our other one for rough. I mean, this has a size 20 hook on it, and that's our first one of the night, so. Has anybody checked to see, can we upgrade the Lacerti here at Mosquito? Or do you have to wait till can you do it at Winding, or do you have to wait to Oldberg or something? I feel like the Lacerti upgrade is pretty available, right? The reflection on the water is hard to see the lines. $18 silver at Belaya. Okay, thanks, Blood. We don't really need to upgrade it. I mean, it'd be okay to upgrade it, you know, this early, but especially when you get to Oldberg and you're actually like fully engaging bream spots, it'd be really nice. Trying to decide. Yeah, I guess we do want to keep. So the roach have woken up. It's 4:36, so we might start to see a mix of roach and bream now. I undercast that one, but that's okay. $8.3. Do y'all have any like thoughts on, especially if you've done a lot more spin fishing at low levels, any like best bang for your buck on some of the cheaper spinner baits and such? I mean, I know obviously the big ones like the Achilles and Spikers and Hornets and all that that are a little pricier, but is there anything that you particularly like that's cheaper that a low level player might use? Thigh Smack says dragonflies. Did you get an ad, Blood? Sorry about the timing of that. Dragonflies. Which, do we have one dragonfly to start with? Oh, okay, so there's different dragonflies, right? Is there a model in particular? So, Hainkun's also saying the dragonflies. Both stream and long. Okay. So the little bit heavier one. So the long is actually also usable on ultralight, right? Some bells too. Smokey says I've had some luck on the bells, but haven't used them in a while. They're all pretty good, Blunty says. I've done well with the bells at Belaya and the long for pike at Old Berg. Oh, interesting. So what about at Winding? Y'all think the longs, because they're a little smaller for Winding? Bells 202, this one, like the one we actually have. They catch grayling and trout. Yellow, black variants tend to be good. Interesting. All right, let's see what we've got on here. When we get to Winding, I'll go back and look at these. Elegance, red, and blue. I don't know if I know what that is. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a variety. All right, what time is it? 6:15. All right, we'll stay in just a little bit longer to see. Oh, we should. We'll do it. That's fine. I was gonna say maybe we should try red worm again, but I think we're catching so much roach now. We'll just stick with worm. Spinners. Elegance, red, and blue are spinners. Is that what you're saying? All right, I think one more hour. So at 7:30 a.m. we're gonna go sell fish and then take off for Winding. Oh yeah, we've got bread to make now, don't we? Heaven's Creek called Spin Shot 1. Oh yeah, I've used those before. Those are good, aren't they? Belia and Corey. The black silver and the red silver. I've definitely used those before. Yeah, it seems like they would. I mean, we're still getting points every time we make bread. If that's the case, probably should just keep making bread. It's just so cheap. That's true. Those cheap lures do come with cheap hooks, don't they? Which, do you think that affects bite rate, or do you think that just affects how often you lose fish? I tend to think it just affects, for the most part, risking losing fish, right? It's a pretty nice bream there. So even on worms, we're occasionally getting decent ones. So like if you had a 1 kilo bream order, even without the later baits, it's probably doable. Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, I think the only time that maybe it's a little different when you get into the in-game stuff. Some places do seem to respond to certain hook types, like if you've got the fluff stuff on it or not, but I can't imagine that it winding that comes into play too much. Yeah, size for bite rate, yeah, for sure. Although again, at a low level, I would say the safe bet is just to stay with the stock size. Even if you upgrade to a nicer hook, keep that stock size on there for now. You switched out your hooks on the bells. Alright, so I don't think we have any other orders. So let's just see how we did on silver. So just on our non-cafe fish, we ended up with 24 more silver, so we're at 54. We're about 100 silver away from being able to get a second feeder if we want. Or we can continue, or we can save for the spinning setup. I don't know. At some point I want to work in that spinning setup, but I don't know that we're there yet. You put furry on the bells. All right, let's look at some lures real quick. I don't want to get many, but we could get one or two, especially the inexpensive ones. Let's just look at spinners. All right, so elegance, red, and blue. Let me see where the elegance are. Oh, these. I guess these are the two, right? The ones that are out of stock, I'm guessing. These are pretty cool looking, though. All right, those are out of stock, if those are the ones. All right, the spin shot. Let's see. Somebody said spin shot the black silver 001 and the red silver, which is the 04. These are a little pricey for our level, but possible. And the dragonfly long, the stream, oh, the original. I forget about the original, and we don't have any of these. What color would we get if we were going to get one original? I mean, these are only 4.9 silver. Let's think about what we have already color-wise. So we have a red and silver, and then basically silver. Oh, really? The elegance I was looking at was the 4 gram. So we're talking about the 6 and the 7. Which they look so similar to the 8 and the 9. All right, so you're saying the 04 on the original Quester, is that right? So I want to make sure that's what you're saying. Oh, we get a bronze. I kind of like that. Reckless, what's up? Glad you're playing again. Hope you're having fun. Both are in stock. Okay. Maybe we should come get one of them. All right, let's try this one because that's only 4.9. How much are these elegants? Is it worth going and grabbing one? They're a little pricey. We could get the 7 so we have a blue though. Let's do that. Thank you for letting me know about that. Let's get the blue so we've got one blue one. Then we've got a decent like variety of colors to try, I would say. I still haven't looked at the cafe at Winding. We need to do that. Bang for your buck, dragonfly is superior to most others. Yeah, seems like it. And really, the one thing about all of this is that while we're still using this, we definitely are risking losing lures. So I'm going to grab this elegance, but I don't know that I'm going to use it until we get our upgraded spinning set up. Which, by the way, what level do we have to be? I think this was the one we were going to get. And we have to be level 10, so we can already get it. And then what about the spinning reel? We were going to go with the G2. It's only level 5, so we can start saving. Interesting. So we've got, do we go spin shot or elegance? I guess let's get an elegance. I do kind of want to have one blue. All right. But for the most part, we do need to be saving because I would love to get that spinning set up sooner rather than later. Let's go see what the cafe looks like. Yeah, I hear you, Reckless. I've often felt that way. If I've had a long time off, it's nice to kind of ease back into it instead of jumping into high level stuff. Okay, so here's the big question. All right, we know we could do perch. We could do gibble. That bleak order is tempting up at the pond. Maybe we just kind of go for all of these at the pond for a minute. I don't, you know, we could get the roach as well. What time of day is it? 10:36 in the morning. I bet we could do this, right? we'll just try to catch a variety of stuff. If we hit one or two of those orders, that'd be perfect. Yes. Yeah, that is true. That is one of the more fun parts of playing when you first start the game or playing an alt account, I think, is just being so restricted by gear and having like small manageable goals on what you want to save for and get. Okay, so I don't know what bait we want to use though. Maybe just bread and worm. We'll see how active this is right here. So that was... That was worm. This is bread. We're going to go ahead and take a chance here on the expensive hook. Technically, it should do the best on the Bleak. I just don't know what'll be, if it'll be better on bloodworm or maggots. Nice, Wrangler. That's awesome. Okay, pretty quick bite on bread. Alright, so I guess we need to figure out, maybe I can look real quick to see if there's any spot suggestions, but kind of where we want to go, try the spin fishing a little bit here. There's a Bleak. Alright. So it worked on bloodworm. Yeah, that's what we're saving for, Smokey. I don't know what you consider cost friendly, but yeah, we're trying to put together a reasonable spinning setup that we can have for Belaya. And currently what I'm thinking about is, this was Blunty's recommendation, is the Siberia linear medium light setup with the Hydra G2. Ooh, there's a nice Bleak, which is going to be able to give us about 5 kilos of strength. Still be able to cast those small ultralight sized lures pretty far and have reasonable strength to go for the grayling and chub and stuff at Belaya. So that's the plan right now. We'll see how the save goes. It obviously would be a little easier to like go ahead and set up for Bream at Old Berg first and then use Bream money to get there. And I just haven't completely decided which direction we're going to go first. How much silver is that set up? Blunty may know off the top of his head, but it's like maybe around 700 total. I don't know. Fishing Sim Pro, greetings. I only understand English, but I'm not sure what you're saying. 720 with the spiker and the leader. Not bad. Although I'm not sure, will we be able to actually find that spiker in stock, that 18 specifically? They were at Belaya? Okay. The Wingate. I forgot about the Wingate. It's been a long time since I've used that feeder run. Gibble. So we are getting some action here, just like right in the middle of the pond. Yeah, Belaya is a much more fun water body now, Reckless, than perhaps it was when it first came out. Some of that might have been expectation too. I think we just have a better understanding of how to approach Belaya, but it is, you know, when it's, especially when it's really active, it's good weather. It's a lot of fun on ultralight. Pretty good fishing, considering what level you can go there, especially. Yes, I remember that Wrangler. I think I only ever had maybe one Wingate. I can't remember. I don't feel like I had a full set of 3 because at some point I too switched to carp rods, but I remember that feeder rod though. Didn't it have some kind of bonus on it maybe? Yeah, we're hitting some bleak here. This is nice. We're missing bleak bites too. They're happening so quick at times. Nice percentage of markers right now. First carp rod is, to me, pretty easy pick. The big Fortuna carp rod. 48 gram. That's awesome. Where am I at right now? I'm actually up at the pond on winding. +1 to fishing with feeder rod. Yeah, which, you know, back in the day when I had it, I don't know that I knew just how good that was. This is just 100% bleak right now on bloodworm. I'll jinx myself now, but that's been awesome. Especially if you've got 1 or 2 bleak orders in the cafe. Yes. It's really nice because you're not locked into flies and trying to run down some flies and usually paying too much for them because it's out of stock at the lower levels. We really need a little bit longer telestick rod. Just a slightly longer one. What's up, Gonzo? What are soul poles, Kyle Kid? Is that a real thing? Oh. Ultralight telesticks. You're doing great on casters at winding. Yeah, it's really frustrating. Servers are going down at that time of day. It's a weird time of day, isn't it? For servers to go down. UL Telesticks Ultimate Weekly Wind. Yeah, for sure. You want to get on that UL record list. No backbone in the rods, yeah. $5 hours left on Bleak order. Do I have it yet? 5 hours. Ooh, we better hustle. Oh, that's cool, Keephius. That does sound fun. $5 over 20. Oh, we're good.